This is a review of the Rosco LitePad Loop. This is the light that we're using right now to shoot this video on a GH2. The light is right in front of me. It's about 2 feet away, and as you can see with the second camera, it's basically all set up on one rig. It comes with its own rails, and it allows you to put it on and take it off, and it stays wrapped around the light the whole time. So if you're shooting on-the-go interviews and you need to light people in odd situations and fill in the face with a nice soft glow, because it comes from underneath the lens as well as over the lens. As you can see, it fills in underneath the hat quite well. The Rosco LitePad Loop has some nice advantages to a traditional over-the-camera light. It's a softer fill. This one actually has a dimmer on it, and so I can vary the amount of light filling in. I of course have it's a daylight balance because it's an LED based light, and I have it set up with a daylight balance, so the light coming in behind me is the same color temperature as the light in front of me. So with that, let's take a look at the technical specifics of the Rosco LitePad Loop. Here we are behind the LitePad Loop. You can see I have it comes with a AA battery holder that I have going through the dimmer. There's an on-off switch on the light, and the dimmer allows you to have different light levels. I prefer to actually have this built in, and I have it built in on other lights, like the Z96 light I'm using here has the dimmer built into the light as well as your on-off. And this runs on standard Sony info-lithium batteries. This does not. This runs on 12 volts, so a 12 volt power supply, or if you have a DTAP, you can feed it with that. The dimmer is an add-on. It's not built into the unit, so you can take it out and just have it full on the whole time, or you can dim it with this dimmer. The system comes with rails. Now there's an L bracket here. You can see just at the top. There's this L bracket that holds the light on with magnets, so it comes off quite easily, and then there's this little safety cable here so that it doesn't crash onto the floor. This can slide forward or backward to adapt to different lenses you have on here. I have a 20mm prime, so it's quite small, and then the camera can also slide forward or backward on here. If you have a longer lens or more hardware in front of the camera, the system actually comes with a second set of rails which are considerably longer, which would give you more throw. If you want to have a microphone in addition to this, you need some sort of riser to get the microphone up over the light, because the light, as we mentioned, does go above the lens and below the lens. So the whole harness does need to work together as one complete system. If you don't have a 12 volt source to feed this, you're going to need a battery. This battery pack, luckily I can feed it right on the back of the camera plate, so it will all come off and go on together. I would have liked to have seen a dimmer here, on-off dimmer, as opposed to using what is nice, but it's kind of chunky when it comes to just dimming, and it's got an backlit indicator as to your light level, and then you have to use another extension cord, which I'm not even going to bother unwrapping, to plug into the light. And then you've got this rather long cable. It's nice to have this dimming capability, but it's a really roundabout way to go about it. I would like to have seen the dimmer actually built into the light, since you've got an on-off switch here anyway. Here you can see the distance. This is the minimum distance between the Rosco light and my 20mm prime. If I turn this off, you can see in front of it a little easier. You can raise and lower this to an extent, and like I said, it's just on magnets, so you can pull it off and do what you need to do. Of course, the power supply always stays on there, so I don't even have to see what I'm doing behind there. It just goes on and stays on there quite nicely. Alright, well, this is the Rosco LitePad Loop package. It all comes encased in this kit. I have it out right now. This is where the LitePad Loop goes. This is the holder for the LitePad Loop battery. Actually, this is the battery case it comes with. I'm using another battery case that I actually have with for other needs, and it has its own power switch on here. And it comes with a harness that you can screw this into the bottom of the light panel kit, but it wouldn't fit with the mount that I have now. But that's that. This is a 12-volt adapter. This would, basically extend the 12-volt and plug into it, and also gives you the right angle for better clearance. Oops. Here's your AC adapter, and gives you the 12-volt. Here are some adapters for worldwide voltages. Here are the two long rails that I had spoke of longer. They're not threaded, so you cannot use both set of rails together for a really long throw. And then this is an additional magnet plate that is longer than the magnet plate that I have on there. And one key addition to this is you have this very comprehensive kit of filters. Rosco, of course, is best known for their lighting gels, and these are no exception. You've got various pinks, purples in here, and then there's a whole second package with various NDs, neutral density filters, in here, in grays. I guess you use these if you're not using the dimmer and you need to knock it down a stop or more. So these are masks, they call them, and here you can see quarter CTO, half CTO, 3/4, minus screen, white diffusion, cosmetic highlight, cosmetic rouge, triangles, half circles, light bulbs, stars, slits. So you've got different ways of knocking it down and creating creative light effects if you want it as well. And all of this comes in this case which zips, comes with a shoulder strap and everything, so it's very easy to transport, or if you wanted to, you could leave it on the camera as I do. I'll show you that in a moment. Here you can see the light panel loop in sort of a run and gun situation. Again, I have a very small prime on here, so it's all the way back with the smallest rails. But it's not that difficult to handhold, even with this tiny little camera. This is just a Panasonic GH2. And then of course I got audio coming in from above. So the microphone is lifted over top of the light. So you need some sort of riser for most cameras. The power supply is on the back here. It comes with a mount that I could screw in right here, but then there's not enough room for the electronics. It's just not a very well thought out situation. The other thing that bothers me is that there's an on-off switch, but at the same point this could have been a dial, a dimmer dial as well. And there could be mounts for batteries on the light itself, as opposed to having to have the power supply somewhere else. Now, this works out quite well. Like I said, the camera is mounted on its own riser here, and I like the fact that it's a very stable riser. The mount for this is quite solid and very grippy. I like that as well, and it allows me to use this single plate, and then I can just easily drop it in, and it's good to go in stationary setup as well. Light panel loop comes with both color correction gels, and it comes with these diffusion and special effects gels. Now this says remove protective layer before use. I'm not going to do that because it's just a review unit and I'm not really going to be using these for production. You mount these with an innovative magnetic holder. So if I just wanted to put this in here, I just put it around the holder and then slide it into place, and the magnets hold it. You can even mount two of them if you like. The diffusion and the color correction, you can stack them. The magnet will hold all of them right in place. I guess you could rotate it, but it doesn't really make much of a difference, I don't think. And to take them out, they just come right off. This has got magnets built into it. You can't really see it, but tiny little magnets in the edge here, and it slides into place, and the magnets hold it into place. I like magnets. Magnets are very cool, and they make things go very quickly. You don't have to, no thumb screws, no twiddling. It's just take it out, put it in, good to go. And changing the color or just removing the color is like that. Same for neutral density if you're going just full blast. And here's a close-up of the two magnets that are in here, and when you twist the rail, when you twist the outer ring, it comes out. Put your filter in here, and then you just slide the inner ring in, and then when the magnets line up, it locks into place. Easy to open and put back. So this has been my review of the Rosco LitePad Loop. It's a very unique product and one that really does do what it sets out to do. It provides a wonderful fill light for the face, under hats, soft and forgiving, gives the face a nice glow, even a little sparkle in the eye for those who need it. And in a well-equipped lighting arsenal, it's a tool that really needs to be had, because there's really not any other way with a top camera light or side lighting to do what a ring light can do. That's why you'll find ring lights in most professional still photography light kits, and this provides the same functionality for video. This is Anthony Burokas, and this has been my review of the Rosco LitePad Loop.